Hello and welcome to the Clashing of Steel. So today I am making a video how to play Falxmen. I will do it both with Arminius and Vercingetorix. But before I head on with Arminius, I want to talk a bit about the Falxmen. Falxmen are practically two-handed swordsmen with curved swords. They don't have much armor, nor do they have shields, but they do have high mobility with a lot of armor penetration. So they may be often referred to as class cannons, meaning that they have a lot of punch but not much defense. The strengths of Folksmen also depend on what type of commander you are playing. With Arminius you have high mobility and have bonuses for flanking. You probably don't want to take opponents head on with frenzy. With Vercingetorix you get a bit more defense and perhaps even a bit more offense, but you are not as fast as Arminius. But then again, with Vercingetorix you're probably going to lose a lot of troops to the scorched earth. Falxmen should mostly be used for flanking. Although they penetrate or ignore 30% of opponent's armor, they mostly do it on the cost of their defense. So Germanicus with Vengeance is still quite capable against them. Right now you can actually see how I'm sending my Falxmen that are tier 6 against Falxmen that are tier 7 and with Vercingetorix. I know I can't take him head on, not even with all 3 units, but I can play with him, I can toy with him and I can kite him. With Arminius I have a lot more speed than with other commanders. So while the Vercingetorix used his Scorched Earth pointlessly, and his Defiance as well, hoping to take down one of my units with all 3 of his, I have kited him away and let the catapults and light artillery do their job against them. The deal with Arminius is that you have to find a way to use your mobility to overcome opponents. As you can see right here, I kited them till the very end of the light artillery and catapult range. So now I engage them. The light artillery can destroy them and I can hold my own against them. All of this is because my team's artillery weakened them enough for me to have a viable chance against them. Although I am not directly enough, I can still hold my own here until the backup arrives. So let's skip a bit ahead. I'm using my infiltration in the forest. The opponents probably didn't notice me before it was too late. And now I'm just using one of my units to hold them head on and second one to flank from the side. This should actually be the main focus of your Folksmen. You want to be flanker with Arminius especially. With Frenzy you lose a lot of defense, but you do get a lot of attack. So you need to be careful where and when you activate it. If somebody is targeting you, you probably shouldn't activate it because you lose a lot of defense and your unit will melt away. But if you're flanking and the opponent is not reacting to you, you should probably use it. The only reason I used it on both units here was because War Dogs were 1 tier lower than me, so I actually had a better chance against them and overpowering them faster. Now I'm going to use my mobility once again. I'm seeing that the archers can't hit them. I'm going to go close, hopefully force them out of their Destudos, disengage and let archers do their work. Also, if I can bait out any vengeance, that would be great as well. The only reason I'm not doing it right now is because heavy artillery has a better chance against slow targets, and while they're in the Destudo, they are slowed. So any moment now I'm gonna break their Destudo for the archers. They can't go to the Destudo right now, although the back one there used it. The both Destudos should be deactivated. And now I'm pulling away. I'm letting archers and light artillery do their work. Once they should reuse the Destudo, I can do it again and force them out of it. With Arminius and the Falxmen, your main focus should be to flank if you can. You also need to use your mobility as an advantage, engaging and disengaging from fights and mostly using yourself as a flanker. So next up we have the Vercingetorix. With Vercingetorix you get a bit more defense from the Iron Discipline, but you don't have as much mobility as the Arminius. With Vercingetorix you can actually take opponents head on with Falxmen. You just need to time your Scorched Earth perfectly. Because of the Falxmen high mobility, fast movement speed and turn speed, you can actually dodge a lot of ranged fire. As you saw it or will see it here, I'm moving quite fast, I'm turning really fast, and all the catapult fire actually misses me. With Falxmen you probably should dodge a lot of archer fire if you can, because you have no shields. You will take a lot of damage from them and they can melt you away. But then again, you can catch up with them, so chasing them down, especially with Arminius, shouldn't be a problem. As you see for the second game, I ain't going full offense with my Falxmen. I'm playing mostly on the defensive, trying to kite opponents or harass them when I can. So right now, I actually see a chance. There is an opening in the front of our base, and I can use that bottleneck to use my Scorched Earth in. Unfortunately, I didn't see the Pila until it was too late. I took quite heavy damage from that. But now, before the engagement, I throw down the Scorched Earth, so any opponents who are trying to fight me there in a struggle match will take a lot of damage. I actually use the second Scorched Earth on the same location because there is just so many of them. And the third one as well, but the third one slightly misses my mark, so I'll try to do what I can. Another important thing here is not to use your Defiance. If you use your Defiance, the opponent can pull you into your own Scorched Earth. Or if your opponent tries to pull out or disengage, you should probably pull out as well. There is no point for you to go through your own fire. The problem with this Scorched Earth tactic is that you might take a lot of damage from your own fire. But then again, if used properly, the opponents will take a lot more and you can survive it. You may also want to use Iron Discipline, because it gives you extra melee defense, and holding opponents in the fire can actually cost you a lot. You can use Defiance near the end or after the Scorched Earth if there should be high number of opponents alive, giving you a better chance to finish them off. I don't suggest using it during the Scorched Earth because you will lose the control of your unit. You can also play Vercingetorix as I played it with Arminius, but you just need to note that you don't have as much mobility. You can toy with opponents, you can kite them, and so. Even as you see here, I'm still faster than most other melee infantries. Because of the weak defense, Folksmen get a bit more offense and mobility. Here I just showed how Vercingetorix can use brute force against most other infantries. With Arminius, this probably don't pay out. But Folksmen are still considered to be flankers, so with Vercingetorix, using them as flankers will pay out even more. You can use Scorched Earth or Defiance when you're flanking and make it work for yourself. The only opponents I've struggled against so far are the Cavalry. Their charge seems to do a lot of damage towards the Falxmen, and fighting them off actually seems to be quite hard. Any other opponents I can usually deal with or harass. So this was it about how to play Falxmen. I didn't include Boudica because I don't think she works that great with Falxmen. I mean, she does work as regular, but compared to these two commanders, her skills aren't as incredible with the Falxmen as the Vercingetorix or Arminius. Her playstyle would have been between somewhere of the two. But anyways, don't forget to subscribe and thanks for watching.